because we're starting to run out of time, Megan and I, mostly Megan, has established kind of a daily action plan Monday through Friday of a bunch of little prep work type things that get us ready for big projects on the weekend. So the big project, or one of them for this coming weekend, is install some wood veneer on one of our walls so that we can start to install the dinettes and the plumbing system, etc. So last night we came out and we made this paper template here, and that is what we're going to use to cut the nice piece of rift sawn white oak veneer that we got. So we got a 4 foot by 8 foot sheet of veneer that will actually cover this entire area. And then there's going to be another one that we're going to put back there behind the bed. So we're going to try and get this cut in all one piece. Now that I'm looking at it though, it might be more than 48 inches from there all the way up there. This is the template. Let's go see if we can cut some veneer. We got to do it inside because it's kind of rainy today. All right, so we've started to cut the veneer. This is the veneer. Look how nice this is. It's a quarter sawn. I think it's quarter sawn. Maybe it's a rift sawn. I don't remember, but it's a white oak with super nice grain pattern. The color is awesome. This is the paper template that we've made. As you can see, we've started to get this stuff cut out. I'm just using a utility knife to cut this stuff. It's got a paper back, not an adhesive back. It's got a paper back, so we'll have to use some, I don't know, I guess maybe 3M77 adhesive spray to get this stuff on. This is the cutout for the big dinette window, as you can see. I wasn't planning to connect this thin little top piece. You can see how thin it is. But I may actually just put the straight edge from point to point and cut that out too, instead of having to patch it back later, but TBD on that. All right, check this out. Look at that. We got this piece out here. It's just taped up right now, but I mean, that is a pretty nice cutting job, if I do say so myself. I mean, that's all a single piece. I mean, the lighting's bad, but it looks rad, y'all. So the top to bottom dimension all the way down to here was more than 4 feet, so we couldn't get this piece solid, but this is okay because there's a table here, so you won't really see this joint, and I'll make it look nice and tight anyways. You probably will never even notice it's there, but everything else is a solid piece all the way up and around. I need to cut this, and then I think that's good. We're going to try and get this thing glued on this weekend so that we can start to install this stuff. You know, everything needs to like butt into it, so we've been kind of waiting for this. It's gonna look pretty nice, huh? It's finally starting to come together. Don't worry about this purple color. I don't know what we're gonna do with that, but we got the white, we got this cool green, we got like the rattan, we got the white oak. Trend City, y'all.
All right, so we're spraying the adhesive.
Yeah.
And we're gonna get this thing installed behind the dinette. But obviously when this whole thing has an incredibly sticky back, this might become a little bit more of a sticky situation.
All right, sweet. Well, this one's done. I mean, it's, you know, it's not perfect, but the fact that we got this around this rounded window and all of this stuff in a single piece with only kind of one redo attempt, pretty freaking impressive, if I do say so myself. So I'm stoked on this. I mean, it looks great. It looks great. Next, we're gonna do that bedroom wall back there. I may try and just cowboy up and do it right now, or at least make the paper template. But super stoked on how this is coming out. Now it looks nice, huh? We got some really nice kind of matte, clear non-color altering finish that Megan picked up when she went and got this veneer. So we'll put that on here at some point. It's looking pretty good. All right, later. So we finally, today we've been waiting. You probably saw in a previous video when we did the plumbing, we set all of the plumbing up to be pressure tested. I think I pointed out kind of we had capped everything. But what I forgot to do is I forgot to cap one location. So it's been like a month and I haven't been able to pressure test this thing, and I don't have the tool. But there's a plumber working in the house across the street, and I borrowed his little PEX expanding tool and put a cap on it. And so we have the compressor hooked up, which is right down here, and we have this hooked up to this slick little fitting that I worked up, and we've got a pressure gauge. So we're gonna pump this thing up with, I don't know, maybe 70, 80 so PSI, and then we're gonna leave it overnight. And if we come out tomorrow and that's where it is, then we know we don't have any leaks. That's 50, I wonder if I should go more. Probably, huh? Okay. 80. Doing it to 80. I don't think we need to go to 100. Because we're never gonna have that much pressure in this system in the RV. If this was our house, then like maybe, but I think 80 PSI is plenty for this. I mean, it's holding right now. So that's great. So we'll let this, it's just a hair over 80. So we'll check it tomorrow. And if this is all good, then we know everything's working. All right, cool. Megan just finished sanding that back there. We're going to install this other piece of wood veneer wall stuff, huh? Mm-hmm. We are going to install this special little thing. Actually, I'm super excited about. This is, and it took me a while to find what I was looking for. I've learned that if you want kind of high quality products for like RVs and stuff, yachting, stuff for yachts, expensive boats is where it's at. So this is a Aquar freshwater connection, and it has this special kind of gate valve insert that you just push in here, so you don't have to actually screw the hose bib on. You just have this special hose bib that will have a water filter connected to. You just push it in here, and it's kind of like a twist lock thing, and that's how you connect fresh water, city water, to the RV. What was on there is a gross, cheap plastic piece of junk. So this is a major upgrade. And it's also just really nice and streamlined. There's a little rubber cap that goes over this. And then, to make things even cooler, I found a PEX A expansion fitting that I screwed onto this. So now we can directly connect our PEX A expansion pipe to the back side of this as it punches through the wall. Like premium application here, y'all. So the downside, or not the downside, but the reality of this is I gotta drill a big ass hole through the side of the RV, which is a little nerve-wracking. I drilled a big hole through the roof this morning, so we might as well keep it up. So we've got a hole saw that is the appropriate size, perfect size. We are going to first use this to drill a little pilot hole from the inside out, because it's hard to figure out where exactly this thing needs to go. So we're going to go down here by where the freshwater tank is, and we're gonna drill a hole out, and then we can chase this with the big hole saw, and then we'll get ready to, we're not gonna install this today because we have to do some priming and painting outside first, and that's gonna, I think, happen tomorrow, and then we'll be able to install this. So that's the next project. Okay, well this didn't work out well. So this is the hole. That is fine and dandy, but look how close it is to this. So we're gonna have to move this thing up, and it shouldn't be a big deal. I'm gonna go get that so we can actually figure out from out here, I guess, where the hole needs to be. All right, next project. Megan's out scraping some of the sealant from the side of the RV. We're gonna get ready to actually put our first coat of exterior primer on just a section so that we can install that plumbing device that you saw and have the paint go under there, because there isn't really a flange to caulk to. Anyways, Megan's doing that. I am in here getting ready to try and install this, but there's a bunch of stuff we have to do first. Down in this hole, I've got to kind of figure out what to do to fill this thing, and back in there. So I think I've got it all sorted out. We're gonna start to cut some pieces of wood to make a cool little box. Got the table saw set up. We're making it happen. This is kind of upside down right now, but this is what we were building earlier. Kind of a cool little thing. This is going to be kind of back in here. I'll show you guys later. It's kind of hard to see right now, but this is going to close a weird, nasty gap between this and the seat. Before, it was just a hole that you couldn't really get to. Now, it's going to have this nice cubby that you can drop stuff in. And then there's going to be a grommet here, so wires can come through here. All these wires you see down there. So that's in process. Megan painted that. First coat, got the felt on there. That's getting ready to get installed. But before we install this, we are going to install more Scudo board. More Scudo board. This is the same stuff we put behind the kitchen, which is just super nice, clean, gray plastic. Very washable, very light. Insulated, it's all good. We're going to put a whole piece into this whole dinette area. But this has been a pretty complicated area to cut out. You can see this crazy piece I have here. Now we've got holes. We've got two holes. One is for this, and one is for the drain line. That one we're gonna fill. This one though. So we're starting to cut some wires, and then we're gonna heat shrink them back together, which is gonna be better than these lame things anyways that the Nimrods that built this thing use. So that's what we're doing. All right, folks, that is about it. I didn't quite finish. I gotta go in for dinner, but I got this piece installed, which, as you saw, was no easy feat. I mean, we got wires coming out there, we got holes back there, we got all the stuff to cut around, but I mean, it fits perfect. Sweet. So that's glued down. Also got this little piece in here. It's bad lighting, sorry, but got this nice little upturn back in there. This is the fabric panel. This is a little ledger that's gonna catch this right here, so that this shelf has some support. This is what, you know, goes against the wall. So that is coming together pretty nice. So all I have to do is install one last piece. This is a pretty easy one, of the Scudo board, and then this whole area will be ready for dinette install. We're gonna wrap this in felt, because you're gonna see this in the storage area. But that's easy. All right. Oh, Mama said dinner's ready, so we're heading in. Okay, we'll hit it again tomorrow. Wow, look at this. Look at this sun coming through here, huh? Okay, it's a new day, Sunday morning. Megan's already out here scraping caulking. Look at this. We've got 2 coats of primer on this little section here and some other areas. We're trying to get some of these areas done so that we can reinstall the devices that go on here. I think Megan's gonna take this cover off next, which should be pretty easy, so that we can actually paint around all that and get all that stuff cleaned out. But finally some exterior paint on this thing. It looks kind of crazy now, but we picked up our color. So we're gonna have color on this thing before the end of the day. All right, let's do it. Come check out the paint job.
Wow.
Yeah. How good does that look?
What do you think, Emmy?
Yeah, I really like it. Can I also paint?
Well, I'm all done for now, and it actually is really difficult to get it to be flat and nice. But what do you guys think of the color?
Yeah, I think it looks pretty neat. What do you think, bud?
Looks pretty good.
Okay, see ya. All right, so now that we've got the painting out here done, we can start to install some of these plumbing devices, which is the main reason that we wanted to do this. There was somebody working across the street, a plumber, that very generously let me borrow one of their PEX tube expanding guns. They work for a company called J&S Plumbing. So if you're in the Seattle area and you need a good plumber, look them up because they were super generous. Anyways, they let me borrow one of their tube expanding guns to finish up a bunch of plumbing work. The main thing we finished was the water heater connection. This. So as you can see, we've got the hot and the cold that we kind of ran from way over there a long time ago, but I made this manifold. These allow us to turn off and isolate the hot water, and then if we open this and shut these, then we can cycle water through the whole system without the water heater being involved, which I don't really know why we'd want to do that, but it would be nice, So for instance, if something happened with the water heater, like it sprung a leak, we could isolate this and then we'd still have at least cold water. So we've got this plumbed in such a way that we can now install the water heater without using that tool, which is super great. The water heater, I've installed the 15 by 18 special door that we got. We've reinstalled some angle here to support it. These are the 2 that were in this hole, and then these 2 I made custom, kind of cut this down from some larger aluminum angle. Had to modify this piece of wood here a little bit so this thing would all fit in here, but I think we're generally ready to put this in. Now, we got a piece of white polycarbonate. Megan went to a place called Tap Plastic today and got some white poly. We're going to make a custom kind of trim plate because if you remember maybe from one of our previous videos, this door is like the exact size of this opening. It doesn't give us anything to waterproof with. So we're going to make a custom kind of picture frame that surrounds this and allows us to waterproof it. So now that we've got the angle in here, I tested that thing fits, so that's all good. We are going to put up a template here, and I'm going to kind of mark on from the inside where we need to cut that polycarbonate. All right, so Megan helped me make a paper template of what we needed to cut out. This is the paper. I used adhesive, like spray adhesive, to glue this thing to the back so that it's stuck down, because this just has a little plastic film, so the whole thing will just rip right off and it'll be nice and clean. I don't quite know how I'm going to cut this stuff yet. I might use a little multi-tool, and then I might honestly just use the orbital sander, because this stuff will probably sand down pretty quick to round these over. But we'll try something to see how it goes. Meanwhile, Mama's over here. We are prepping because this Sunday we are showing the house to a bunch of potential renters because we're moving out in a couple months. And we have a lot to do to get ready for that. So little by little, we've made a schedule of every day this week to get stuff ready. Megan is in here cleaning up the garden. Super nice, looks awesome, babe. Megan made a cute little box of a bunch of herb bushels and put it out on the corner. She'll take you out and show you that maybe. Oh, look, it's golden hour. So nice. It's actually not golden hour, but it's nice. Yeah, I know. Look, nobody's taking this plant. We put this plant out here. These cute little buds.
Free herb bushels.
I mean, those are legit herbs. That's like $200 of herbs. I mean, seriously, those little tiny containers we buy at PCC of organic stuff is, well, how much are those each? It's pretty expensive. This is another thing we're really gonna miss. This little free library that we built. Me and some people from work built this thing out of 100% reclaimed materials, and it gets a ton of action. It's got this really cool living roof on it. People really like it. I mean, what's not to like? Cool. Yep. Okay. Herbs, books, beavers. Okay, it is a little crooked. Megan just pointed out after me spending hours working on it. But I think it looks pretty slick. I mean, for a custom job, that looks awesome.